Welcome back to Road Back Home. How you doing, broski?
No good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. I'm
Busy. So busy.
Oh, busy with what? Life?
Yeah, man. Life, work, family. I wish I exerted myself this much before now.
Before what's before now?
I feel like if I started putting in this amount of work in my life when I was like 20, crazy. Be a
Right.
whole other person. It's like alhamdulillah, better late than never. But like the amount of grind that I'm putting in now, it's like if only I had done that when I was 22
Yeah,
or 20 or something.
that's one of my. I think that's all. I think that's a trait of men, bro. Like we don't do anything unless we need to. Like, you know what I mean? And I found this out just like helping around the house. Like my wife, like we just moved into this new place.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Oh, thank you. And I had to put
Still
on
haven't gotten the invite. So
Then, son, we don't sit on the floor. You coming? We still trying to furnish it. And we got curtains, right? And we're trying to put it up. So she told me, like, yo, like, put up the curtains. I'm like, I got you. It ain't up yet. You know what I'm saying? Let's just until like, hey, what's going on? Neighbors can see us. It's like until like it's like crucial, then I do it. Same with like go to gym or anything like you're just like, bro, I gotta be on my last legs for me to get going. And then you see, hey, I actually have so much time in the day.
crazy.
I do this thing now, like after every week, I write what I can improve for the next week. Because I have like a schedule, like an actual set schedule. I try not to do it for every hour. It's like I don't want to have like, oh, from 3 to 4 I do this, 4 to 5 I do this.
Yeah.
Like it's impossible to actually stick to that. But I have like 4 main things I gotta get done today, or 3 main things I gotta get done today. I don't care when you do it, but you gotta get done. And it incentivizes.
Life related, or just is it specific to work, or just in general?
Oh, just in general. It could be. I gotta go shopping for meat today. I gotta go. Typically I don't. Those things I just sprinkle in. But okay, I got Arabic class today, or I got gym today, or I gotta go to the office today. Like those like things like that. Like I don't play around those. I set those things and I do it. But yeah, man, that's kind of on tangent of what we're going to speak about today. So the title of this episode, I was hoping would be something along the lines of, "Can I change?" Right? And so, "Can I change?" was I was listening to a khutbah, and the idea of this is like, you know how like we all sit back and think to ourselves like, "Man, I want to be that guy that lives in a righteous manner. I want to be that person that constantly, eats healthy and works out. And I want to be that person who prays their salahs. I want to be that person who fasts the sunnah fast on top of just Ramadan, Am I ever going to be that person? Like, how do I get myself to actually do that? It's been 5-6 years and I'm still struggling with the same things I was struggling with 5 years ago. And I was like, I need to talk about this. And I wanted to start the conversation off about, before we answer the question, can I change this? The default settings. What are our default settings? My factory settings is laziness. we already established that I'm a liar in episode 2. That was a great episode, by the way. You should check that out. We already established I'm a liar. You know what I'm saying? Or at least I was in high school. Creative fun at that. And I'm looking at like, what are my factory settings as a human? And a couple of them are this, like one, it's laziness, the other is impatience, inconsistency, I get upset at things pretty quickly at times, I find. So I'm like looking at my default settings and I'm wondering, what are your default settings if you think you have any? I think we all have some, but
I think we all have some, and we'd be surprised. We shouldn't be surprised, but most of us would be surprised. Because I'm thinking about it now, like as you're talking about it, I think human beings have a default setting. See what I'm saying? Kind of like there's, how they say, oh, it's human nature. Oh, it's in the psychology of human beings. So I think for the most part, until a certain point in our life, not everyone, there's exceptions, we have like a default setting. And for me, it would be everything you just said would apply to myself. Inconsistency, trying to be consistent is one of the most difficult things I find in my life.
It's a superpower.
Superpower.
That's right. It's a superpower.
So consistency is huge. And I know how important it is, but I also find how difficult it is. Having long-term vision, I find that so difficult. Like, I always want it now. I want to be successful now. I can't plan 5 years down the line. What do you mean 5 years down the line?
I better have it tomorrow.
6
You know what I'm
months,
saying?
like 6 months tops.
Yeah, I'm free tomorrow. Why we gotta wait 6 months?
You know what I'm saying? So it's having, I guess, that, yeah. And I find though that in certain aspects it's helpful.
Helpful.
Yeah. In some aspects, like if I was able to find a balance between wanting something now and understanding that it's gonna take 5 years, then the work ethic will stay there. Because you don't want, so sometimes if you think, oh, 5 years down the line, then sometimes that might trigger procrastination. That might trigger. But if you have the mindset, no, I need to get it now, but I'm willing to work for 5 years because I know realistically that's how long it's probably gonna take.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, so you gotta say that, oh, it's gonna take 5 years if I apply myself. So the more you procrastinate, the more that deadline just keeps getting pushed out further. Like, for example, my laziness, like, one of the things I noticed about, like, I got really, really out of shape. And one of the things that I noticed was I would make excuses for why I'm being lazy. So for the gym, I would create scenarios. I'll create scenarios in my head for why I shouldn't go to the gym. Like, I'll tell myself, oh, why are you working out? Just to get stronger? You know people have guns, right? Like, this is a story I actually told myself. Like, I told myself, you're gonna go work out and some smaller dude is gonna smoke you. You know, I'm not gonna count calories just to get wasted, you know? Like, these are thoughts I have in my mind to tell myself, look, stop working out, go buy a gun, you know? Maybe it's okay to be out of shape, so long as you got a gun, you know, in the house or something, you know? So dumb stuff like that, you know, sleeping in, gotta get those 8 hours. You know?
doctor said it.
Yeah, doctor said it. I gotta get them 8 hours, you know? And I'm on my 8th hour or 9th hour, and I'm like, yeah, but you know, one of them hours wasn't really all that. You know, like, I gotta get 8 solid hours. So stupid things like that. And then also, like, the impatience, like, being impatient of trying to be successful. Like, I would have this thing about, you know, same thing with working out. Like, I want to lose weight now. I want to get in shape now. So you start looking for, like, ways around it, you know. I think I told you this, I stopped buying bigger and bigger shirts, you know, just to, you know, because I wanted to feel that feeling of feeling comfortable in my own skin. Or when I was doing stand-up, I would have like 3 to 4 weeks of just doing really well. Like, every show, every joke landed. Every little outburst with an audience member landed. And then I go to my managers at the time and I'd say, I'm ready for the big leagues. You know, call somebody. You know, saying get on the phone with somebody, I'm ready. And they'd sit me down and be like, no, you're not. I'm like, you ain't seen me, I'm on fire. And then they're like, it's easy to have a good night when the audience is having a good night and everything sort of came together to make it perfect, right? But I want to see you when it's not a good night. The audience members are kind of rowdy. They're not trying to pay attention. They're, you know, the room is kind of quiet and awkward. Or you bomb halfway through your set and you try to, like, get the room back. I want to see that. I can't do that. Not at the time I was, you know, I remember it. I remember, like, they put me to a test. I had a show in Oakland, and Lord, it's one of the worst shows I've ever had in my life.
And one of the worst cities too. One of the worst cities.
Cities to do comedy?
No, it's Oakland.
Oh,
It's
general?
ghetto.
Nah, it was
Sorry to them about Oakland, folks.
damn.
I used to go to Oakland. I'm not gonna lie. I actually loved it. There's a lot of Yemenis out there, and I love Yemenis. Well, just
Yeah, there is a lot.
Yeah. So my bad. So yeah, you had to.
I was also born there, so I feel a type
You
of
were
way.
born there?
I was born in Oakland, yeah.
Damn, you really from the hood.
Yeah,
That was
you know what I'm
good.
saying? A little
G.
bit, you know
Wow,
what I'm saying?
that was crazy.
Well, you know, probably one of the wider neighborhoods.
Moved out when you were like 2.
Huh?
Moved out when you were like 2, but you
Oh,
still
less
got a
than
rap.
that. 6 months. I couldn't have
You
it.
still rapping. You still remember though. It was
Yeah,
tough.
it was-
Those first 6 months of life must have been tough.
Bro, I couldn't walk and I got up out of it. Like, it was, dude, this funny story. My dad, I guess one of his boys was like not like an Amazon delivery driver because that was a while back, but it was some sort of delivery driver. And my dad was like, the guy asked my dad, it's like, yo, you want to come with me? Do a couple of stops. And my dad went. He went with him, and this dude like knock on random doors, like serve people, like lawsuits and stuff, right? So my dad was with him. My dad has no idea what's going on. Like he's just there, like just hanging out with this boy. And the guy, and like knocks the door and gives this guy, and the dude pulls out a gun. He said, "Yo, you ever come back to my house? I'm gonna kill you, bro." My dad's like, "What?" Because I got kids, man. Like, do you ever bring me here again? And it's a funny story that I remember hearing. But yeah, I did this show, and I'll tell you, there's like levels to doing stand-up, right? Like in terms of like the nervousness I get. So in the beginning, it's like just strangers that absolutely don't know you. You will never see them again. It's okay if you bomb because whatever. You might feel a little bit like weird, kind of like when you fall in public. It's like, dude, none of these people are gonna remember this. I don't care, whatever. Then the next step is people who know you from like social media. So when I did shows and I invited people from TikTok or Instagram that came out, then it's like, okay, they know who I am. Even like a year from now, they'll probably still remember, oh, that guy, I came and saw him live. He sucked. He was not funny. And so that I can still kind of live it down because there's like, it's not like if you have a big enough following, you can tell yourself, it's only 0.5% of people who saw me bomb. You can sleep at night. The last level and the hardest one to live down is when people you know in real life see you bomb. That's exactly what happened in Oakland. I invited some friends out. I didn't want to, but managers told me, "Hey man, we need to pack the house. So you gotta just not just social media. You gotta call your boys." I told one of my friends, and God, this guy's too popular. He bought out everybody, and apparently we're all mutual friends. Came out, and brother, I had a terrible night.
Oh my gosh.
Just
I
everything.
remember this was the mic when the mic went out, or the mic guy was.
Yeah, I was like, yes,
That's crazy.
and I didn't know what to do because I made like a weird joke, and then the mic started going out, so I kind of like turned my energy towards the DJ or the guy that was fixing stuff, and I started roasting him, and he looked like he wanted to kill me. Like this, I forgot where I was. This is Oakland. I should have just shut up and continued. But yeah, and I remember going back to the hotel, and
Crying.
I didn't cry, but I was very close. Bro, the hotel they gave me was so bad that it didn't even hurt. Like the worst part of the night was the hotel. Wallahi, I'm not joking. There was dead roaches in it, and I didn't even look at the dead roaches.
How's that bad? They're not alive.
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I had such a bad night. Those they didn't even like register as a bad part of the night. It was such a bad night. I looked at the dead roaches. I was like, that should have been me. I myself wanted to leave, bro. You don't understand. Like after the show, I went back to the green room and I didn't leave. I let all my friends go.
Oh my god.
And my manager's like, "What are you doing here? Go say thank you for the people who showed up." I'm like, I'll tell them later. You know what I'm saying? I'll message them and be like, "Yo, thanks for coming." But
now did anyone bring it up to you? Did anyone mention anything to you from your friends?
no, because apparently I thought it was worse than they did. And that always happens. But you cannot convince me that was anywhere near decent.
Yeah.
Like it was definitely under a 5 out of 10. Like maybe I would say a 3.5 to a 4. And that's as much as I'd give myself. But yeah, terrible. You said consistency is a superpower, right? Have you ever been consistent with anything? Well, I'm assuming you got it, right? Like obviously like you
Breathing. Breathing. I'm doing that.
I'm talking about voluntary stuff.
Voluntary. Okay. No.
Like, I mean, you got changed today, buddy. You know what I'm saying? You get changed every day.
That's true.
I haven't seen you wilding on the streets yet. So
This one is true.
yeah. So long.
I ain't been caught yet.
Oh damn! You one of them?
Ain't caught yet.
You would be one of those weirdos that hang out in the nudist colonies.
I can neither deny nor confirm those allegations.
There, I don't want you to. But there was like Salah, for example. Like I remember, let's say 5-6 years ago, whatever. It was like if I prayed 5 times in that day, you couldn't look me in the eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like I was the man. And I always thought to myself, I want to be that guy that prays 5 times a day. But I was like, is that really? Can that happen? Is that like a real thing? Like,
I'll say one thing. I'm very hard on myself. I know you're very hard on yourself too. And I think most people watching are very hard on themselves. And I think a part of me not knowing the answer of like consistency is there's the aspect of discipline and like focusing on things, and then there's consistency. I think one of the reasons I lack consistency is because I'm trying to do too many things. How can you do 50 things consistently all the time? And I'm talking about like big projects, right? Like for example, like if I start a project,
Burnout.
it's a sense of burnout, but it's like, we've talked about it, the aspect of I want to start this business idea, and then you're trying to run 3, 4, 5 different business ideas at the same time. So then of course it's going to be difficult to have consistency on that level. It doesn't even make sense. It's like you're not really giving anything its due thing. I'm jealous of people who know what they want and go after it. That's so difficult to find that one thing. And I've met quite a few people who just know this is what they love, or this is what I'm good at, and they just do it. And so I find it easier to build consistency around something that's consistent. Like, for example, Salah. Okay, that's one thing. That's Salah. So if you can bucket like 5 items, if you could say, okay, I have work, family, a side business, for example, and religion. So I'm only focusing on those buckets, and I'm going to be consistent in those things. Versus now, that's 4 buckets. Now add 3 more projects that you want to work on. Add the gym, add this, add that, add car problems, add this problem, add this, and then, now you want to fix your own car. Now you want to do this, and then all of a sudden, now the consistency goes out the window because you're just working on way too many things to even build consistency. It seems like my foundation's been wrong to begin with.
I see.
So
I'm the exact same way. I started, I was doing stand-up, I was doing social media skits, I was trying to start like 3 businesses on the side, like literally 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4, right? And every like week and a half, you come up with another get rich quick, or in your mind, get rich quick. It's not really a get rich quick scheme. It's just another idea that you might have seen someone else be successful in, and you're like, yo, forget about all this I'm working on. Yo, that's where the money's at.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I'm on like, I got a show tomorrow, but I'm like, I know this one dude, he got a kebab shop. He making bang. What am I doing making these people laugh? I gotta go open up a kebab shop. So then days before my show, I'm thinking about, yo, what kind of seasoning would sell? Like crazy, like, and then like you get into the kebab shop, and then you start having these like these moments where like, kebab juice, or like you start like thinking like, yo, man, I'm too good for a kebab shop. What if I supply them kebabs? You start thinking about, you know how people start something and then they slowly own the entire chain? I haven't started anything. I would start like, okay, I want to do coffee. I want to have a coffee company. How do I buy a piece of land and grow coffee? I'm like, that's not where you start. Like, you start like wholesaling, like not even wholesale. You start selling like your own, maybe your own.
Let's research coffee first.
Yeah, like research. Where is, and then or I'll be the other extreme where instead of thinking too wide, I'm thinking too little, and I'm just like I'm trying to start like a coffee company or something. I'm just like, yo, what is coffee really? Like it's what's in it? Maybe I could just sell one of the ingredients in like what if I just sell like coffee like seeds, like so other people can bless it? I'm just like, what am I doing here? I'm wasting time.
What really throws me for a loop is all these YouTube videos. Make $1,000 a day. Make $1,000 a day doing this. Oh, cleaning roofs, bro. You know how many roofs I know?
Well, I was just about to say.
Roofs, my brother. Yeah. I tried. It was actually one of the business ideas, bro. Like I invested in like whether it was gonna be like a solar power, like a.
Can't knock you for that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. But the issue is, I know for a fact if I was consistent in that, it would have been great. Yeah. I have no doubt that those ideas are good. But to jump from one idea to the other idea when you haven't even established this one, that's my problem. And so I wanted to do the roof cleaning, but then at the same time,
cleaning. You weren't even putting solar panels?
No,
like gutters. I
was straight up with some ladder, brush.
For storm. Like if the storm's coming, their gutters are full.
No. Like out in Cali, there's a lot of moss because of the sun and the rain and whatever. So taking off the moss from the things or leaves or whatever it is, right? You can get like $300-$400 on a job.
Oh,
Yeah, it's normal. But it's labor intensive. In the heat of the summer, oh, IG, bro, going 4 or 5 water bottles, bro. I was getting scorched. They would have thought I was your brother. But it was an experience. So that was one thing, right?
How many roos?
I think like 3 or 4.
3 or 4? How many in a day? You didn't? No, you didn't do.
No, not in a day. Because the most difficult thing is obviously to build up the customer base, and you start with family and friends, but then word of mouth. Like one of them was actually like word of mouth. A person that I know who cleans that person's pool was asking around about a person who cleans roofs.
Ah.
And I had told him earlier, like, hey, by the way, just because I know he goes to homes, keep me in mind if anyone asks. SubhanAllah, gives her my number. So that was a proof to me that it's possible. Because we always I don't want to say we in general, myself. Such a horrible thing that I do, and I wish I could have taken it out of my mind when I was younger. Is I want to start a business or I want to do something. My first target audience is Muslims. My first
You
target
wish that
audience,
wasn't?
yeah, because the reality is the world is so much bigger than that. The moment you say Muslims, you've limited yourself when it comes to business and work.
Yeah.
And the reality is most Americans that I've met, they are more accustomed to the professional lifestyle and cost of getting things done. Muslims are not.
Oh, they're trying to get cheaper, right?
They're trying to get it cheaper.
Yeah.
They're trying to, like, the know me.
Like, how much for the roof?
And think of it like, okay, we live in Elk Grove,
Yeah.
right? And what do you think the percent of Muslim population is? 2%, 3%, 4%, 10%, 15%. And you're offering a service that's not actually just for Muslims. It's for anyone.
Yeah.
So when you go into it with that mindset, you've already set yourself up for failure. And that's what I used to do to a certain extent. Until finally I realized, bro, money is money. Whoever gives it to you is just...
Yeah. All money is green. No, that's a good point you say. I do believe that if you're doing something niche, like if you're doing something that a lot of people are doing, you may want to say, okay, I'm going to cater to this community. For example, let's say this podcast, right? There's a lot of podcasts out there.
Yeah, no, this
So
is
you
different.
say, hey, I want to target this audience because you have a better chance at actually being heard from there. But yes, if you're like doing a business where you're selling shoes, it wouldn't serve you well to only sell shoes to.
And the thing is, it's not like I went into it with the intention that I'm only going to sell shoes to Muslims. That's not what I mean. It's more so that you begin to market to them because you think it's an easier win.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, let me market to my
But that's what you're
Muslim
supposed to do, right? Like you're supposed to go through friends and family, your community, before you reach a broader community. Because if you came and cleaned like my dad's roof, for example, and then my neighbor was to say, hey, who cleaned your roof, bro? I would tell him, yo, this guy cleaned my roof.
Yeah, I think a good balance for sure. But I think I didn't have a balance. I was more so, which Muslims in the community, and it was just more of like a comfort zone, just bubble, just
Yeah. I think most of us have that problem. But the inconsistency, what do you mean? Like you said that you think you can find consistency in something that you like doing. So you're jealous of people who pick and choose what they love doing or good at doing, and they just do that. I can't imagine in any world that you actually like cleaning roofs, but you did that for the money, right? Which we all do stuff for to pay our bills that we don't necessarily enjoy doing. What is it that you like doing at that point? Have you had, I mean, that seems like a bigger problem you have is you might not know what it is you like doing.
That's true, but I think I've grown out of that. My goal is not to like what I do, but do I like where it's taking me? Do I like what it's providing me? Do I like where it's putting me? So for example, I might get a job that I don't like, oh, this is my passion. But it feels great to be able to pay the bills. It feels great to be able to take my family out. It feels great to be able to feel like I'm fulfilling a duty that I need to. So that makes me like it to a certain extent, right? Like there's a difference between, oh, I'm passionate and I love this and I can't wait to do the job. And some people are blessed to have that. But I think, again, living in in reality, not all people have the luxury or can afford to find that and be able to do that. And so I get it, find something you love and go after it and you'll get there. Sometimes you need to pay the bills. Sometimes you need to put food on the table. Enjoy that process of being able to provide.
Yeah.
And that's what I've gained comfort in.
Yeah.
Is that it's deeper than just waking up. I can't wait to go to work because I'm going to go play basketball. And I love that. I'm going to get paid millions. No, I love the fact that I can provide for my family and I've been given that opportunity.
Yeah.
So connecting more with that and being grateful for having that opportunity to begin with, while still trying to grow and do something you love, maybe potentially, and create some type of income.
Yeah.
But you know,
I've heard the same. So, for example, I think it was Bezos that said that if you like 60% of your job, good enough. Like you're not gonna like 100% of it. And I asked myself, like, I enjoy comedy. I love making people laugh. I hate recording myself. I hate setting up stuff. I hate like the tech involved in recording and editing. And I have 2 videos in the chamber right now, and I love the videos. I think they do well. Can't get myself to want to sit down and edit it. And these are like 2-minute videos, less than that. And I just can't. I hate it so much. And then people ask me, what part of it do you enjoy doing? I love writing. I love, like, when we came to doing the podcast, like, I love sitting down and coming up with like the things I kind of want to say, the directions I want to take it in, and all these kind of things, and like going through it and like buffing it up in terms of like, you know, well, what story can I relate this to? Because I have this story. Love that process. Then you tell me, oh, yo, you know, let's find a place to shoot, for example. I want to drag my feet.
I like that process.
The logistics?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
logistics.
maybe that's why I saw this thing works out, you know. But
Remember,
there's parts of it.
Sammy hits me up. He's like, "Yeah, man, there's a friend who was gonna give us like a spot to kind of record. Yeah, unfortunately, he's not gonna be available till next week." I was like, "Bro, the conference room by your spot."
Yeah.
It's like, come on now. It's like,
Yeah. I am also a little self-conscious because people might like see me do stuff. But people where I live know me from like videos and stuff, and I'm like, it feels uncomfortable.
how does that ever happen here?
Yeah, dude, downstairs.
No,
I swear, downstairs.
like neighbors.
Like neighbors, yeah. Literally downstairs neighbors, yeah. It's like, hey, I know who you are. I'm like, damn. But yeah, I mean, inconsistency, even like the smaller things. Like, for example, I needed physical therapy for my left knee for the longest time. Since I was like maybe 15 years old. And you've seen, like, I played soccer with you once in a while. You've always, like, I don't think I've ever had a time when I played some sort of physical sport, like volleyball or whatever, with you that you didn't see me at some point on the ground.
The last time was volleyball.
Volleyball, I was on the ground like crazy. Like, bro, it just, like, it hurts so bad. And I'm like, I went to physical therapy in 2019, and she told me exactly what I needed to do. And I just
Okay, but physical therapy, bro, I think everyone can agree is one of the most annoying, difficult things to do, bro.
I thought it was just me.
It's like 15 minutes of just like the dumb, like what feels like the easiest thing in the world. How is this supposed to help you? But it's a proof of, you know, like over time, consistency pays off.
100%. But you can't see it every day. And I'm just like,
It's tough.
yo, I'm here working on my knee.
Yo, you know what it is that we need, like everyone needs. And I'm actually a part of a group right now. It's like 4 or 5 brothers. A random brother just added me, and maybe I'll add you to it if you want. But it's helped me a lot, at least in one step. Is, you know, they always say like, if you want to see who you are, or your success is determined by the 5 people that you surround yourself with. Now I see it more than ever. Again, I wish I saw that back then, and I wish I knew how to determine like,
This is a group full of winners.
this is a group full of winners.
You add me in there, boy. You
taking a big hit?
the stock going down easily. Because I'll be in there like, hey, y'all, let's take today off. It's a little hot.
No, so this is like, it's more so it's it's self-guided, but there's a level of accountability that they'll just be like, yo, what's good? Why aren't you checking in? Why aren't you this? So it takes a lot from me to actually do. So every day I say, okay, for my work related, this is my goal for today. For my health related, this is my goal, which I'm horrible at. The health one,
related?
yeah, the health one I cannot pin down.
Is that what, gym? Or
No, I don't go to the gym.
But what is your health?
I don't know.
Like, I'm saying, like, is it like sport related, or is it like example,
that's the thing. Like, it depends. I
stretching? Like,
haven't pinned it down. For everyone, it's different. For someone, it could be walking 30
I
minutes.
see.
So for me, sometimes randomly, I'll say like, okay, 50 push-ups, and I hope I'll have 50 push-ups that day randomly. Or, you know, my goal though is to make it more soccer based, like at least get an hour of soccer in a day. That's
A day?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I enjoy it. Soccer is my therapy. Basketball is my therapy. So like yesterday was basketball for an hour at the park. I did pickup, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time in a long time that I fell.
Yo,
It was like,
falling in like your older age, like once
So-
you like past 25, if you
felt
fall,
good.
it felt good.
bro, when I got in the car, I was like, damn, I haven't fell in a while. Whoa.
Yeah, just let me know. I'll push you over a couple of days a week.
It was crazy. When it happened, I was just like, damn, that hurt. It's been a minute since I felt like that. Oh, wow. But yeah, so like I'm in that group now. I'm in that circle of 5, 6 guys. And don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll go days where I don't put that check in of like, this is my goal for today. And then what ends up happening is tomorrow, the next day,
You do too.
no, I'll confirm whether or not I was able to meet those goals and then set the new goals for that day.
I see.
Does that make sense? So it's
Yeah.
continuously rotating. So making sure that I'm following through with what I said I want to follow through. So I'm just saying that's just one step in the right direction of surrounding yourself with those people. And
They're accountability partners. I have one.
that's true. You did tell me.
Yeah, I had one. It's a good brother. He actually lives in Oakland.
Yeah.
And we call each other every day. We kind of slack sometimes, but we do at least maybe 3 phone calls a week, and we run down everything.
Should be reminding him of, hey, don't forget that drive by.
Yeah. Put your bike back inside. Little stuff. Little stuff, bro. We actually talk about. Okay, I tell him like my like fitness stuff. This is my situation, and we actually take it further. Like Salah, for example. Alhamdulillah, I'm in a situation where like I'm not super concerned about like my 5 daily salahs every day. But like, let's say I'm talking to a different brother who would mention like, oh, today I got off of Fajr. Today for the last 6 days in a row I did Fajr on time. That's amazing, right? And then like maybe the 8th day or 9th day, like, oh, today I didn't. Then we'll talk, well, what happened the night before? Or like, what did you do? What happened? Oh, well, I felt like this and this happened and that happened. And okay, so this is how we don't just do accountability, but we'll ask like, if you keep telling me 2 phone calls in a day or 2 phone calls in a row that you haven't done XYZ plan that you've had for a week, okay, well, let's get to it. Like, for example, like my problem is Quran. Reading Quran is like one of the most difficult things, like to actually sit and read, especially because it's hard for me. I'm so slow at reading. It's just one of those things where it's like, why am I, stuff like that, to say that there's no like khair in reading it, but I'm putting myself through some turmoil right now because I feel like crap about myself when I'm reading because I'm so slow. But that's one of the things that if I keep saying that 3 days in a row, he's like, well, what's going on? Let's break this down. Okay, well, how about you just do 2 ayahs in a week? You can't do 2 ayahs in a week? Come on, brother. You know what I'm saying? And choose a day. Oh, Friday. That's the one. That's the day I have the least stuff I have. I find the day that I have the least amount of
So
things.
maybe he's with the Kahf on Friday.
That's what I'm saying. It's wild. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just be listening to it. You know what I'm saying?